you have a lot of elementals. Now, oh, that seismic smash just eats through them. But yeah, look at that Teddy go. We used a fragment as well, so if you can pick those up, I believe the Teddy is infinite at that point. Let me just test that theory. Pretty sure it is. There we go, we've got our Teddy back, he's still there. Infinite Teddy if you can get those charge fragments, as well as being the strongest Teddy you can get. Hello, hello, I'm CammyG. Welcome back to our Fortnite Save the World tutorials. So we are doing hero loadouts in the Blasted Badlands zone, and we've got Cyberclops for that super powerful Teddy. Let's see him work in the first encampment here. We have healing death burst. Please do bear that in mind when you see this. But let's see him go. We are the only person in here right now in a 140. Let's just lob a shock tower in the middle there as well for some beautiful extra damage. Shock tower kind of pointless in healing death burst missions, I'm not going to lie to you. Oops, I thought Teddy was back. Let's lob Teddy down again. It did kind of struggle, I think, because obviously we've got healing death burst. There's a healer in there as well, which I kind of want her to disappear. She's kind of ruining my intro. Get out of here. Yeah, let's show the seismic smash though. You know, Cyberclops is more than just his Teddy. Of course, he has all of the damage abilities that the Outlanders have, all of the strong damage abilities. He is very, yeah, agile, I guess. My god, that guy is taking a lot to kill, isn't he? But yeah, I'm kind of, yeah, I don't really know what's going on. This is, of course, to showcase how strong Cyberclops is, with him making the Teddy deal energy damage instead of physical, especially when we get to missions like this where it's fire enemies. You know, once you get to the higher missions in the Blasted Badlands and any zone really, you have a lot of elementals. Now, oh, that seismic smash just eats through them. But yeah, look at that Teddy go. We used a fragment as well, so if you can pick those up, I believe the Teddy is infinite at that point. Let me just test that theory. Pretty sure it is. There we go, we've got our Teddy back, he's still there. Infinite Teddy if you can get those charge fragments, as well as being the strongest Teddy you can get. It is actually filthy stuff. And then seismic smash just makes things even more hilarious. We do have smokescreen as well, which is really fighting against the showcase here, because smokescreen, of course, reduces those ranged damage. I didn't think it worked on Teddy, but I mean, it looked like it was, so I don't really know, to be honest. I don't think it should be decreasing the damage, but yeah, let's lob another one in here. Let's do a shock tower first. Let's lob a turret. Let's lob the Teddy and just look at it go. We can, you know, we can of course get the seismic smash in there as well. We are low on energy now, but we will rejuvenate it back. That is part of the hero loadout. Whether we shoot the enemies or not, we've got affliction as well, which is going to help. You know, obviously that's not something everyone's going to have, but I thought I'd mention it because you might be wondering how the energy goes up so fast. But yeah, affliction ticks do give you energy as well. Thank you, Cam, once again for the tip that I can share to the kind viewers of the channel. And there you go. That, oh, he's not dead. I thought getting ready to say, like, there you go, there's the encampment gone. I was kind of hoping for some more players, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I mean, it's showcasing that you can solo this mission fairly comfortably. Going commando is probably going to be more powerful, but you know, Teddy I like to think of as my lazy go-to. If I'm in a mission that's a bit lower, or we have a strong team and I just can't be bothered, I'll go Teddy, because I can just lob him down and he does the bidding for me. So yeah, we'll just show what I mean. Lob him down, maybe just stand up here and just look at all those clouds for the affliction. Look at them all. Everyone is dying. I mean, this has actually performed pretty well. Now that we don't have a nurse, especially, in the mix. Let me just kill this blaster, though. He's kind of... Wow, I am nearly dead. Put another Teddy down. Yeah, look at all those affliction clouds. Remember, every affliction cloud... Well, I say remember. You might not know because I haven't shown the loadout yet. But every affliction cloud basically means that enemy has had a crit shot as well from malfunction. But yeah, we'll cover the hero loadout, which will explain you know, what each of the parts is doing, how it's increasing damage, why it's the most powerful Teddy build you can have in the Blasted Badlands zone, and yeah, we'll show you exactly how you can get this loadout going for yourself. And so for that all-important hero loadout, we of course have Cyberclops in the main slot. Now I can get into more detail around Cyberclops in a minute, but basically if you don't know what he does as the main hero, he makes Teddy deal energy damage. That's the only hero in the entire game that can change the way Teddy works like that, you know, to change the damage type. It is insanely powerful, honestly. Like, don't take my word for it, watch it, you know, watch the gameplay. But you know, other than that, energy damage has a 1 in 5 chance to zap nearby enemies for 116% damage. So effectively, 1/5 of the time you're doing an extra damage on top of what you're doing. So in a sense, it does 20% more damage, if that makes sense. Like, obviously this doesn't always apply, because if there's only one enemy, it's got no one to zap to. And, you know, if it's healing death burst, that damage is kind of negligible because it's going to get counted when the enemy dies. But, you know, in effect, though, the way I like to visualize it and think about it is that it's doing, you know, 20% more damage. Now, this applies to your weapons as well, of course, if they're energy. But yeah, that is Cyberclops in a nutshell. Now, there's a beautiful face. It is my logo for the channel. I love Cyberclops so much. If anybody says anything bad about him, I will kill myself. No, I'm joking. That was kind of dark. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Please, it shouldn't really joke about that stuff. It's really not. You know, if anybody does feel that way, please do seek help. This has gone on a very large tangent. Team perk. Happy Holidays. This decreases ability cooldowns by 40%. This, on top of Blasted Badlands, means that the cooldown is going to be quite short. So I think the cooldown is usually 60 seconds by default. So in Blasted Badlands, that's going to come back down to, I want to say like 20 seconds, thereabouts, maybe like 24 seconds. But yeah, if we put Bear With Me in here as well, the duration of Teddy goes up by 4 seconds. So what is it by default? Is it like 12 something? Teddy lasts 15 seconds, so it's going to last 21 seconds. As I say, I think the cooldown is about 24-25 seconds. So you have the downtime of about 4 seconds, which is kind of like irrelevant. But you know, we can do an infant Teddy build as well. We can definitely show that another time. But for this build, this is like a super powerful build. Before I get into the support squad, there's also something else I want to say. So I have had this discussion with people before, and this debate about whether Cyberclops is the best Teddy hero. I personally think he is in the base game outside of Blasted Badlands. I personally think he is the best Teddy build and the best Teddy hero. I will fight for my life to prove that. I'm going to make plenty of videos about it. Don't worry, I've done tests and stuff. But in Blasted Badlands, he 100% is the most effective hero. Because if you use, for example, Bear With Me as the main hero, and you get that 12 seconds extra, you have then about like 6 seconds where you have your next Teddy, but your current Teddy is still up, which is wasted time and waste of the perk, if that makes sense. Now, of course, you could argue, like under warranty, for example, should be your main hero, or Teddy Spore should be the main hero or something. Personally, I really don't advocate for these two as the main heroes. I don't think their jump from support to main is big enough to warrant them being the main hero. You know, the jump for Cyberclops is, you know, energy damage zaps, blah, 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 whatever. The zap increases damage. Teddy now deals energy damage. That is a huge leap. I don't know. I don't want to argue about this. This is just, you know, a hero loadout build. So let's go through it, though. So we have Teddy Spores. So when you attack a new target, you create an affliction cloud, which lasts for 2 seconds. Combining this with under warranty, the beautiful combo team, where if Teddy malfunctions, which has a 5% chance of happening, and I think once it's malfunctioning, it just malfunctions forever, I think, from what I've seen anyway. It will keep targeting a new enemy after every shot, which means the affliction clouds are going to happen once it's malfunctioned on every enemy. You know, it just happens all the time. You'll see it in the gameplay, you'll see the clouds on every single enemy, but it also means it has a 100% crit chance, because that's part of under warranty, is 100% crit chance against new targets. So when it goes into malfunction, the shots are going to be crits all of the time. They're going to have affliction clouds, which will of course affect the enemy that got hit, plus any enemies very close to them. And yeah, it's crazy. Now the next slot is Fuel for the Fallen. So Teddy does not give you energy when it deals damage to stuff. It's not classed as, you know, direct damage from the player, which is very sad because like going Commando, going Constructor do, but you know, if that's what they want to decide, that's what they want to decide. You can, of course, just shoot enemies, but getting the energy back can be quite troublesome. I think this is very needed in Blasted Badlands. But if you're very, you know, if you're very active with your shots, you can definitely swap this out from the damage hero or something. If you're in a nature zone, which doesn't happen a lot in Blasted Badlands, but if you are, I would very much recommend having him in the support, because otherwise you will struggle, I think. But yeah, it's up to you. In the next slot, we have Pressing Charges, so increase damage of your fragment abilities by 30%. I used to think this meant only if you actually used a fragment, so you know, from the llama fragments or whatever around the map. Turns out it just increases the damage of your Teddy and your Shock Tower by 30% all of the time. That is a very nice bonus. Something I also forgot to mention. Cyberclops has a Teddy, a Shock Tower, and Seismic Smash. Those three abilities together are absolutely filthy for damage. Just wanted to throw that out there. Then we have Bear With Me for that increased duration. You could swap this out for something else if you really want, but if you want less downtime, you're going to need it in there. That's basically it. But yeah, that'll cover the hero loadout. I have gone on a very much rant here. I do appreciate that. I'd love any sort of counter arguments in the comments if you do disagree with me. You know, we can have a discussion. I'll be very civil about it, and hopefully you will as well. But yeah, just fight me in the comments, basically. Yeah. But let's get back to some gameplay. Now, this video isn't exactly proof of this build being the most powerful build you can use in, you know, Blasted Badlands. These videos are more just showing you what the build is and then showcasing it. I'm not really like getting into the scientifics of why it's the best build for itself. You know, the ones where it's like infinite Teddy or infinite going Commando or whatever it is. I'm gonna die here. They're a bit more easy to show because I can literally show the numbers clocking down and then getting to 0 while I still have it active, you know, that type of thing. But with this one, you kind of just have to take my word for it. We haven't done like an official test, but I've played a lot of games, I've tried a lot of Teddy builds, and honestly, Cyberclops is just the best. Now, one thing you do have to bear in mind is, I kind of say this and it makes me sound a bit less confident about it, but I appreciate that. You don't necessarily have to use his other damage abilities for him to be the best Teddy hero, but it's one of the perks of Cyberclops is that he has the Shock Tower, the Seismic Smash on top of the Teddies. So you know, you really want to, if you want to get the most out of him, you should be using those as well. Now, I do appreciate that we have limited energy in this mode because it's Blasted Badlands, and you're going to get some back from shooting enemies. You get it back from your Fuel for the Fallen, from that hero loadout if you choose to keep him in. But of course, you're not going to be able to use your Shock Tower and Seismic Smash all of the time, because it's just not feasible, because they come back quite quickly, especially the Seismic Smash comes back very quickly. Now, one weird thing is that Seismic Smash costs 40 energy, whereas Teddy costs 30. It's always something I've been confused about, because, you know, going Constructor, going Commando, they cost like 45, you know, 40, 50 energy, which is a high toll to pay. And I'm not sure why Teddy's that low. Considering it's just an AFK like turret, I'd have thought they'd make it cost more, because it's kind of a boring way to play the game. Wow, that guy's using the vacuum tube launcher against fire enemies. What a noob. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, it's always something that I'd be curious about, why it doesn't cost as much energy. And the Seismic Smash costs more. The Seismic Smash is a very strong ability though. Like, you can see, like, when we've used it in the start of this video, and, you know, using it in the end of this video, and throughout, you'll notice that it just kind of kills every enemy that's not a bigger enemy. It is very strong. So one thing that I like to get out of the Seismic Smash is, in a mission such as this, where we have, you know, Healing Death Burst, the Teddy and the Affliction on the Teddy and the Malfunction is weaker, right? Because it's intentionally swapping between enemies more, because that's how Malfunction and the, you know, Madcap works. You know, they're designed to just hop between loads of different enemies, which doesn't work when you have Healing Death Burst, because if you're just chipping away at people's health, and then one of them dies, they all get that Oh! They all get that health back. I'm going to die again. There we go. So it's kind of counterintuitive, but it is just very strong. Now, you could feel free to, if you do see the Healing Death Burst, have another version of it set up where it doesn't use those. But they really do just make it... Wow, the teammates just not helping us. I guess they're done after the main encampments. That's fine. You don't have to do the extra ones, I suppose. But yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah. But what I like to do is definitely take advantage of the seismic smash. You know, if you're in the... I should probably do this a bit smarter. Like, for example, now, I'm just going to slap it down there. All the small enemies died. The big enemy obviously didn't, because he has no health. But yeah, I'm just trying to leverage the position here, because I don't think that other guy's going to help with the future encampment. Oh, wow, what killed us? I honestly don't even know what killed me there. I'm probably going to give up on the encampments then, because it's kind of difficult with Healing Death Burst to solo these, and doing it while speaking about the abilities and stuff is honestly kind of hard. Like, you should try it sometime. You should try record a video while trying to play your best. Honestly, it's not easy. It really isn't. But you know, we can play. We can play. We can use it on random enemies like this. I need to repair my shotgun again. Yeah, you can see that affliction giving me the energy back. Now we have the Teddy. Slow them down. It's a bit easier to show, you know, when there's not huge amounts of enemies. But yeah, the Teddy build is very, very powerful. It really is. Now, if you do want me to do some sort of proof video as to why Cyberclops is the best, you know, Outlander in the game for damage and stuff, I will more than happily do that. I am just struggling for time at the moment, so I'm trying to focus on, you know, just getting like the actual builds out there as opposed to spending some time like testing traps against each other and testing the damage, testing, you know, the loadouts against each other and so on. So I do appreciate that if you do want that, though, please do let me know in the comments so that I know there is, you know, a thirst for it, and I will get on that. Is that healer still alive? Yeah, she is. Let me just delete her from the game file. Oh my god, she is so annoying. Okay, she's dead. Jesus. She got help. She got healing. She's kind of annoying. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the video then, isn't it? I don't think there's much more needed to say other than use Cyberclops. Use code CammyG. Use code Cyberclops. Should we change our code to Cyberclops? I don't know. I'm kind of ranting at this point. Half of you who did make it to the end of the video have probably left at this point. So those of you who stayed, though, you are absolute legends. Love you guys. Yeah, much love. I think we should probably end the video here, because we kind of said everything there is that needs to be said. But please do let me know any thoughts in the comments. If you think you know a way to improve the build, let me know in the comments. I'd love to see. You know, if you have any sort of additional info, any requests, anything like that, please do just pop them in the comments, because I love to read it and I love to speak to you guys. But other than that, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you did learn something, you know, about Teddies and the best Outlanders. You know, I think everyone learned a thing or two today, because, you know, Cyberclops, he's the one. He is the GOAT. Trust me, he is. He really is. Alright, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to end the video, let you guys get back to playing Save the World, set this hero loadout up, and yeah, hopefully you all have a beautiful day and just enjoy yourselves. Cheers, and take care.